I'm playing some Phoenix Wright. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. This sounds good. I got some time. I got some time for some lawyering and justice. But I don't have time for injustice. Anyways, yeah. It's been a weird, interesting day. So I'm gonna do some Phoenix Wright, and then probably play something else later. That's gonna be the plan. Alright, hang on. As I get myself all situated. As I wait to see if anyone who wants to see the game will pop up. If not, too bad. They're going to miss out. It's snowing outside. It's a perfect time for some justice. As I pop pills. It's good. Okay, hang on. Let me I don't know if anyone's gonna show up. Well, too bad. Guess they gonna miss. They gonna miss. They gonna miss. Ba-ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Oh, let me get that fact pulled up. I gotta get my next damn game, because this is the last Phoenix Wright game that they have digitally. So after this, I would like to play the Zeroscape series with you guys, because that's one of my favorite series of all fucking time, just like Phoenix Wright. But I gotta buy it, and that's a problem. Okay, let me, yeah. But it's okay. We're on, what, the second case of this? Something like that. I don't know. I think so. Yeah, we're in the second case. Yeah. This will be... Oh, this should be the last part of it. This should be the last part of it, and then we should be going to the next case. Yeah. Oh, and I like the next case. Next case is great. This case is okay. This case is pretty good. It's got some good twists and stuff like that. Next three cases are better, though. Dun 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 dun. Okay. My sis? Oh, that's right. Mia flashed up last time. I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive? Inside your heart? Nicky boy! Oh, Mr. Light. Is it true that detective is a real killer? Oh, to be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one that could have done it. But wasn't he at Lorley Taylor that night? Well, not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oh, oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. It's just gotta. Smack! Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Look at me, please take a stand. Well, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand on your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask the Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Look at me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. Well, you've been in the defendant's seat all day long, sir, correct? Or being tried as Master Mask? Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Raccoon! Okay, it's okay to be busy. Cool. Then I'll see you then. Of course. Smack! Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., King Buller was murdered. Where were you at the time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that they should be ashamed of itself. But do not worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks? Yep, I'll be streaming. Either this or something else. Probably this. I plan to play this for a little bit, because we're at the end of this case. Alright, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. I should just make him full on French. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Wow, it seems that the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask could not be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Hang on, you piece of shit. Unfortunately, Mr. Adme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. And its face. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask just as I announced I would. So this photograph is proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Mask the Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Ha! Are you saying that this is not, in fact, Look at Me? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi? Oh-ho! What an interesting idea! Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Oh, wow, I can't... I can't... no. I don't have anything like that. Yeah, Look at Me was at KB Security during the murder. And the Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. But right now, I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Faceless objections are just what this guy wants. There's gotta be another way, and I'm gonna find it. Sometimes you gotta know when to back the fuck up. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean that you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. Oh, you truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atney was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. It is kind of weird. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So, by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody. It looks like I better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. The time in which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. So, this alibi is false? I pressed the wrong button. It has to be. Or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. He could have photoshopped it. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. Okay. Alright. Okay. This is where Mike said it was weird. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence right here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That's the very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I would have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Oh, yes there is. You bet your ass there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Schmack. Very well, let's hear what you have to say. What about this photo? If we all remember, the statue was there that night. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain! Ah, blood! Oh, now this case is getting interesting! No, not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint and peach color at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. His wild tangerines. Ha! Oh, I tried. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright. And what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Well, we all know it's supposed to be, that statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken that night, then the statue should have been there.
Objection.
But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Her? Well, perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Schmack! Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved that golden statue on the night of the crime? Well, there's only one person it could have been, and we're trying to blame it on that asshole.
Take that!
The one who moved the statue is none other than that asshole. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Schmack! Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing that you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like the cheap film at the drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? Da, 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 da. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Look At Me went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. Smack! What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look At Me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah! So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Look At Me had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in this photo! Whoa! Smack! What's your order? Order! Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by Lordly Taylor's staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Smack! 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 Oh my God! Order! Order! Mr. Gouda, what is the meaning of this? Gouda, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down.
My 11th cup. Oh, here come that smooth jazz. I promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on the road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you see, this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true.
No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor! Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Smack! Oh yeah, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the second urn.
Sacred Urn Heist.
I first received a request from Lolly Teller about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and Zvari was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave.
Witness, you're sure that there are no mistakes this time?
Zvari!
Smack! Alright, very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh, you're going down. You're going down, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. You going down.
I first received a request from Lolly Taylor about 20 days ago.
You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right?
Indeed, it seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation.
I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos.
You'd better watch out too, Maya. The urn was placed in a box, and Zvari was sent to the warehouse.
You mean this box?
Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me.
Huh. Interesting new tidbit.
Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime.
So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before?
Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews to confirm yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance of the warehouse. However, I look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand.
You mean this calling card?
Yes, that is without a doubt my calling card.
I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Admi knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him.
I then handled security by myself to ensure that the crime would go smoothly.
Then no one entered the basement warehouse?
Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
And this is the photo that proves that, huh?
Indeed, to be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much.
Hey, Nick, if this photo's a fake, Detective Atney might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken.
That's true.
You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing that we need to prove this in the cross-examination, that he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Well then, how do we do that? Well, there's only one thing that Abby stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. To the security at Lord Taylor, I will be coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasures of Coraine exhibit. Take good care of the speckled urn, won't you? Yours truly, Master Okay. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Objection!
Mr. Atney, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct?
But of course.
Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had wrote. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the a speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn.
Well, yeah, that's true. But so what?
Truth be told, there's no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern.
What do you mean?
This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains.
Paint stains?
And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone person. And that's when the pink paint got in the urn.
You can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atney had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. I don't know what that was. Guac, 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 guac.
Smack, smack, smack! Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Oh, god damn it. Ha. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point.
No way! Don't fall for that too, Your Honor! You say that Luke Atney was the one who killed Kane Bullard. And let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, well, then he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Smack! Well, without a motive, it's clearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten to us as what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-timer.
They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance.
I, look at me, had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite inexcusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
Your mom's a travesty.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant?
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Blackmail letter updated. Was written by Bullard?
Smack! Very well, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. I, look at me, had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. And who in the world is going to prove that?
I will. After doing a thorough background check of the detective Atme and Kane Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report.
Well, perhaps they were connected to their work. They were both involved in security.
Nope.
What? That was blunt. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was.
Mistook?
That's right, mistook, from the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take an error.
That wasn't what I meant.
Just who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course.
Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask?
Don't you already know that? Zvari, take a look at this newspaper. Oh, that's the famous tear of Eminon. Oh, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly girl, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article and Zvari. He got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. Wait a second.
It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight? If you want a true identity to the world, come to keep security at night. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond. The red diamond you received the other... The red diamond that you received... Wait, the red diamond you received the other day? Hold the fucking phone. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
Contradiction?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
You're one to talk?
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior?
Indeed, kind of man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter.
Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Eminon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Or red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Eminon that Master Mask stole at all!
Objection!
And your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite?
That's what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Butler actually was blackmailing. Oh boy, the only person who's been flashing his fucking red-ass jewel around here. Meow, bam! Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme.
Do you have some sort of basis for that claim?
You've been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen. And received a jewel as your reward. a jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around that finger right there. That red diamond ring! That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullet wrote the letter in order to blackmail you! Oh!
Smack! 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 Order! Order in the court! Order, I say!
It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh, I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? Well, yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him! Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Well, yeah, it certainly does.
Kane Bullet threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So, just what was that identity? Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as... a blackmailer? Look at me. Was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron DeLite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Well, yes, just a few days after the Tear of Eminon heist. Well, after that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from someone, a very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron DeLite was actually Master Mask?
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLite steal his targets from him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme.
Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear.
What is?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
How did you...
You say that I Look at me was blackmailing Ron DeLite, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask.
Well, yes.
Ron DeLite started receiving the plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Oh, good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Look At Me know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? During the first crime, how did he know? How did he know? Because he was right fucking there in the news. He was right fucking there. He was right there.
Take that!
I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention.
What do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
And that's how he got the outfit. We talked about this. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Adme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight.
What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud! Trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Oh, why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you're neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
You? Oh, my role? How dare you even...
Oh. I'm just gonna leave him to it then.
You have to make one laugh!
Alright, Washim, we've finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atney.
Schmack! Bailiff!
Please prepare a shell for Mr. Atney. God damn it, Godot. What now? The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What are you? It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Look At Me was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right, and that's why he's the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way!
Smack! 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 Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Adme was at Bullard's office that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough. Mr. Trite, I want to hear your answer. That night, Look At Me was at KB Security, and the defense... And the defense... I can't prove it. I can't prove it!
Alright, just as I thought.
But if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Look At Me is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No!
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delight will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Smack, smack, smack! Macaroni and cheese! Order! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this! At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Mr. Abney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means...
he will be innocent as far as the murder of King Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Adamy's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as King Bullard's murderer.
Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, look at me, will go free.
Smack! You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there's no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
I hate it. I hate it.
Smack! Well, then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look at Me.
Objection!
Oh.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. That voice! No way! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the crane channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Well, yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yeah, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one to step too late. If you think, a falsehood would do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness has made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
What? Mr. Godot, what are you... Smack! Very well then, Mr. Look at Me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So this case, I will never forget this cross-examination right here. If I press the wrong statement, I lose the case. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This game will fuck me up if I press the wrong statement. I can't just go in all fucking willy-nilly. I gotta be careful. Ooh, baby.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lolly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it, and why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, and which means that the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
Winnish earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigating documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer?
Well, I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a second. Just one chance. It seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17. The last cup. It seems like time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Schmack! Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Press the wrong statement, you'll lose the case. But this one, I think it's that one. I think it's that one. If I remember, because this testimony is because of my failures in the past. Oh boy, almost safe. Almost safe. Almost saved the game. I think it was this one! Mr. Adme, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Adme, it seems that you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder! Mel! Hello! Hello, my friend! It's good to see you again so soon! And thank you. Thank you for believing in me. And I think I do got this. How can you say that? Well, I didn't get a game over, so I at least pressed the right statement. Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Adme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. And why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed, that is what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More like your deductions are full of shit.
I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
Or, that was...
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Adme? There's no way that you should have known about that! You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask, so then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well...
Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Adme to have found that out.
Only one way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
Oh, when I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether it was the real killer. Look at me. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its fucking head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Plot twist. No one saw that coming. Detective Adme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, there he go.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday?
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Adme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Adme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem that we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
I like the word besmirch.
Don't ignore me! What? Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict?
I know, you never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Master Mask!
What? Huh?
So, thanks to the trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? Oh, what was it you said? Double jeopardy?
What, now that you mention it?
I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent. It would seem so. For now.
For now? Shrek! Now didn't this court find the defendant not guilty?
Yay! We did it! Finally! God, the last part takes so long. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, well, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. Oh, it's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, would you, Phoenix? Well, of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security? Becoming Master Mask? I did it all for one reason. For her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she once was held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have had any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Light, even if the bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Oh, you mean like the sacred urn? The sacred urn? Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are! Mr. Light, you did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything to do with me anymore, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi! Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes. I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, oh, shucks. Take care of yourselves. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations!
It's Pearls. Pearls is back. Oh, talk about bad. Oh no, she always got. Oh.
Ow, with another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya? No, no, you gotta run. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever.
So, just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Yay! Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Hooray! I'm gonna use that picture for the thumbnail for this stream. Yay, number 2 is done! Now I get to go to the third case, which is great because it has a gay guy in it and I love him. So let's keep going. Third case it is.
Smack! That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. The evidence and testimony we have seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at the table when he drank from that poisoned cup of coffee.
Insert meme here. Oh shit.
Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright? Smack! This court finds the defendant
Guilty?
This court is adjourned.
Oh damn. What a way to start the fucking case. Jesus.
Ah, the start of a new year always makes me feel like I can take on the world.
I bet it does, Maya.
So, I've decided that our resolution should be... Zvari, take on the world. What do you think?
Sure, whatever, Maya, but I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake.
Never. You gotta eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game.
Oh my god, it's that boy. Hey, pal! Yay, it's that boy. Detective Gumshoe?
Happy New Year, Detective.
Likewise. Now listen up, Wright. I want it.
Here's another fruitful year. Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation.
Yeah, me too. All right, pal. You've got some explaining to...
Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective?
What? Well, here, have this. It's really nothing much, but...
Yay, thanks.
Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat.
Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you?
No, I mean, yes. I mean, no. Are you doing this on purpose?
Guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year?
Very funny, pal. Now let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this.
What is it?
A magazine?
Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict? Defense attorney Wright trounced?
Trounced? Let me see that.
The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday? What the hell is this?
It's a report, pal, about you.
Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case?
Well, and it doesn't tell me you... don't tell me you don't remember nothing about it.
But I don't remember anything about it. When was that issue from anyway?
December of last year, which I guess it makes it last month.
Which makes it old news, you mean?
But I wasn't involved in any poisoning case in December.
So what do you think about all this, Nick?
Well, if it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility.
No way! You don't mean a phony Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the new year with one too. I was trounced and my client was found guilty.
So, what you gonna do about it, pal?
What do you mean? What am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case.
My fault? How do you figure that?
Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of.
Yeah, see what happens when your hotshots start getting too full of yourselves?
But I didn't do anything wrong. At least not that I can remember.
You better make this right, pal, now! And that means taking the case back to court. Got it?
Sounds like we've got our first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned. I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait till next year.
So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal?
I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. If a client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation, I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of a guy would do that? Maya, what the fuck? So, what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick. This person's behind bars because of you. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me. It was a fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. You're phony. Sinifop. Yup, I mean. Phoenix backwards. I hope not. And what kind of name for an evil double is Shin-Yop? Anyway. Nick, I got it! If you're gonna ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual? Or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who's just found out he's gonna be a dad or something. Well, yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you, then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? Oh boy, I guess we'll go to the detention center? This is so nerve-wracking, waiting to meet our new client. I wonder just what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya! I can't talk to ruin me! How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? Hey, everyone knows it's Maggie! We haven't seen her since the second game. They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Aren't you? Yes, I am. I am totally and utterly let down. What? Are you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie. Remember? Maggie Bird. Maggie Bird? Ah! From the second game. Maggie Bird. She's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. She was a cop, too. Oh, what are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a Oh, sure. Very funny. After the fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh, I see. So that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying that exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Wright's here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. Maggie. So how come you're dressed like that, Maggie? Well, last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? Yes, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure come through for me. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me right away, sir. Mr. Armstrong's like my favorite character. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. What happened? This whole mess started on the 3rd of last month, and it happened at Très Bien. Très Bien? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and a friendly smile are always included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... one of the men slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just 1 sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. What? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? No, not at all. I've never seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? Well, of course. A good waitress must be attentive to the clientele. So, you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway? How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright! Ah! Oh, I guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. So, if you saw the murderer, why are you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man. The one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. The victim was sitting alone at his table the whole time. But how's that possible? I don't know, but nobody, not one person would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. What a pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then they found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle of poison? What? Poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy? No, sir. That's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. The other guy? I was the one who took the coffee to the 2 men. Oh? And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look to him. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a good look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD? Maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Oh, get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? What was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man, well built like the victim. Really. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article's about my case! Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested.
I met you in the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. Me?
Yes, you, Mr. Wright.
Ugh.
Hey, Maggie, was my evil double I am there too? No, I don't remember a phone of you, Maya. Oh, it would have been so cool.
Then you really get worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you cleared of this crime, you said. Okay, I get the picture. But you've met me in person before, so how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me?
I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange.
Only a little?
Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady. And your voice was a bit weird. Oh, and you had this kind of funny accent. And
so this guy was nothing like me then?
But he had your spiky hair and blue suit.
Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me?
How about everyone else in the courtroom? Like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize that he was an imposter? Everyone had these big question marks on their faces, but it seemed like no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial?
Probably. The court ruled in the absence of a genuine defense attorney, so we should be able to get a retrial.
Mr. Wright?
Hmm?
Do you think we'll win next time?
Sir?
Huh? My life has been a full course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. But I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. And one day, I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. Jin Yop is really gonna pay for this.
What are you staring at me like that for?
Maya's right. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. We'll find him. Don't you worry. We'll get Shinny up for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Trey Bien is then. Trey? Ah, right. The restaurant where the murder took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. All right, Nick. Let's go check out this restaurant and its food. Of course you'd want to test. Of course you want to test out the food. Très bien. Wow, look at this place. Look, more like smell. What's with the suffocating scent of flowers in here? Then again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Well, actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's no one here. Don't be silly, Maya. This is a restaurant, and it's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. There really isn't anyone here. Perfect. Let's get intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. Take a look. It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic sometime, huh, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my acolyte clothes, aren't I? It'd be fun to wear normal clothes every now and then. There's something stuffed in behind the rack. Looks like a sports paper to me. Hey, and look at this. Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. Little master doodle. MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. $100,000 maybe? I wonder what MC Bomber is supposed to be. What? This paper is from December 3rd. This paper's from the day of the poisoning. What? I'ma take this. A paper from the day of the murder? This has gotta be a clue. I should see if I can find out some more about this paper. It's the restaurant's front entrance. There's a sign hanging on the door written in French. It probably says open or closed. It must be one or the other, but I don't know which since I don't know Jacques about French. Clever one, Phoenix. Look at all the little trinkets tucked away here. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all of these personally. Well, let's see. A bouquet of flowers, some potpourri, and look! Fine bone china cups. I never knew you were so cultured. Oh, come on, Maya. This is common knowledge. Any Joe Schmo knows about this much. Look, it's one of those magical boxes that spits out money. You know, you're the only person who would ever describe a cash register in that way. Slide. This table's set nicely. It just needs a customer. What do you think this flower is, Nick? Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like a tulip, and it's not a sunflower. I don't think. Duh, even I could have told you that. Well, those are the only kind of flowers I know. Dagnabbit, I'm a lawyer, not a botanist. Dagnabbit. Wow, it's a beautiful winter wonderland out there. Really? Cool, I love snow. Let me see. Huh? It's not white, it's not even snowing. Got you! I was only kidding, Maya. Nick! There are lies that are okay to tell, and lies that definitely aren't. All I did was tell an itty-bitty white lie about non-existent white snow. Oh, I missed it. There. This restaurant has partitions that separate the tables. When you're seated at a table, you can only see the tables to your right and left. This must be the table where the murder occurred. I guess so, with all this police tape around it. And that stain must be from the poisoned coffee. Don't go licking the tablecloth, okay, Maya? Why would I lick it? I'm not a cat, you know? And why can't I picture you doing just that? Is that it? Is that everything? I guess that's it for now. There's no one here. I guess we can go ask Maggie about the magazine. Oh, a sports paper. Let's see. Did Goodson Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? Sorry, Maggie, that paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Goodson got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh, no. I found this paper in the magazine rack at Tribune. Really? That's strange. Tribune doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. Then maybe one of the customers left it behind? Anyway, what I want you to take a look at is this scribble here. Aha! That's it, sir! MC Bomber! That was the name that was written on the CD! Just as I thought. I guess it wasn't MC Screwdriver after all, huh? No, Maya. So that 100,000 must be a down payment for a record deal, right? If someone gave me 100,000, I'd sing for sure. The Master of Karain, or the Spirit Song, or even Maya's theme. Okay, Maya. So, if the sample CD was on the victim's table, then that means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. You're right. So the victim left this behind on the day of the murder, huh? I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? Yes. Yes, we should. Okay. I guess let's go talk to Gumshoe. It's been ages since we came down to the precinct, huh, Nick? It looks like Gumshoe isn't around. He's got it so easy leaving everyone else to do the work. No, he's out there somewhere. My bet it is in the courthouse. He's probably trying to arrange the retrial of this case. Guess that means that we should go to the detention center and chat with our killer, huh? After being convicted without... We already did that. I guess not. I guess not yet. There's nothing else I can... How about my attorney's badge? That badge, is it real? Of course it's real. That's what they all say. But I've been duped before. Give it to me for a sec. Chomp. She bit into it. And I left a few teeth marks too. I can see that. I just wish I could remember if that means it's real or a fake. I said it was real. Ask her about herself. No matter what happens, I'd never let things get me down. You're always so positive, aren't you, Maggie? Macho Maggie Bird, they say. The early bird catches the worm. A bird in the hand. Wow, all those phrases are named after you? And I never turn my back on anything. You're always so strong, aren't you, Maggie? Macho Maggie Bird, they say. I'm a tough old bird. Tough old bird, Nick. Hee. Do you get it? Yeah, I get it. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. He really looked out for me when I was on the force. Have you seen him recently? No, he's never been to the restaurant. I guess he's not a fan of French cuisine, huh? He's an instant noodle kind of guy after all. Yeah, he prefers the simple things in life. Or he's just simply too poor to afford anything else. And I shipped those two. I wanted them to be together. I still ship them. Oh boy, it's a bit too early to be hitting any roadblocks. Oh, cool. Oh, hell. Hello? What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. This boy. Right here. Bienvenue! Welcome to my petite restaurant. Bienvenue? Oh non, my petit chulip. Me? Look at this face, like a kitten rejected by its own mother. You are fatigued, non? Alors, you need this. An aromatic bath oil melange of a neroli and a brilla rose. I'm gonna butcher all these French words. My personal recommendation. You think I need what? Oui, just add a couple of drops to the mixture to the bath water and voila. It will soothe your body and your mind. It's simply fantastic. Really? And voila, monsieur. Who? Me? Look at that face, like a puppy rejected by life itself. You are fatigued, non? For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil bergamot, or maybe a hint of oui. I will add la peppermint and la clary sage for a fragrance exceptionnel. Such an invigorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur. My beauty? Wait, my delicious beauty? Alors, if you want to be seated, I'll bring you a special menu of the day. Actually, we're not here to eat. We're lawyers. My Ben, sorry you know this already, monsieur. You are La Phoenix, right? No? Yes? You know me? My oui, I never forget a man who flirts with me, especially in court. I guess he was cross-examined by our mysterious Shin Eof. It looks like everyone to do with this case knows who I am already. I wonder what sort of impression Shin Eof's been leaving on people, don't you? Allow me to introduce myself to you again. I am Jean Armstrong, enchanté. I love this man. So, what does très bien mean? I know très, that means 3, right? No. Très bien is Francais. In English, you would say, very good. Very good. Oui, exactement. L'atmosphere is très bien, and la cuisine is très bien. If the food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? My cuisine is not for all. Some people, they do not appreciate the hot cuisine. I thought everyone liked hot cuisine. Since I have lost Maggie, I do not have enough hands. So you're running this place on your own now? Oui, for the moment, no one has answered my advertisement. Pour moi. Please don't eyeball me while you say that. I am the chef. I am the manager. I am also the trained aromatherapist. A roaming what? A practitioner of aromatherapy, the art of soothing the soul with the delicate flora aromas. Delicate? The smell coming from that bottle earlier was anything but. So, could you tell me what you know about the incident? Bien, it makes me sad to remember, yet I remember it so well. More than a month had passed since it happened. Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing. So, it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in there for coffee suddenly became ill. Because of the poison in his coffee. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen especially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. That is the truth as I remember it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him.
I was in the kitchen. I heard the sound of someone collapsing. When I came out to see what it was already slumped in his chair.
He was dead?
Mon Dieu, oui, he was dead. Maggie had also passed out also.
And this man who died, was he alone?
Oui, monsieur. All alone. I know that Maggie said there was someone else, but...
I see.
The police, they asked me many times. Are you sure there was no one else at the table? They asked. But I am not the only one. The old man said the same thing.
Old man? What old man? So who is this old man that you mentioned?
At the time of the murder, there was another customer in here. What? Someone else saw? Oui, as usual, he came alone that day. At the time of the murder, he was there. I saw it too. But he said the same thing, that there was no one else at the victim's table.
But Maggie swears that there were two people.
My mademoiselle, the lawyer, could not prove this, non?
About the lawyer. That was me, I suppose?
My bien sûr!
Wow, he's the first person who said it wasn't me. Don't kid yourself, Nick.
Now who's the one making this stuff up?
I guess he was. Wait, I'm confused.
Please, monsieur, there is no need to show me that. You are Mon Phoenix Wright, the worst defense attorney in town.
I think I can imagine how he formed that completely wrong impression of me. The last time we met, did I show you this badge?
Oui, you flashed it to everyone in this restaurant?
Looks like Shin Eop's a bigger fan of flashing stuff than you are, Nick. I don't know how I feel about that statement.
I am not a lawyer myself. I do not wish to speak out of turn. But your defense in the court that day was a little, how you say, lacking, perhaps? Even the Frenchman who cannot speak any English could have done a better job. You were very cool, though. Oh, oui, oui, so handsome.
Wow, I wonder just how bad the defense could have been.
Every time you opened your mouth, the old rocker has stirred.
Oh, man, that is something I do not want to imagine. We found this sports paper in the magazine rack here.
One of my customers must have left it behind.
Do you have any idea which customer it was?
The only ideas I have, mademoiselle, I save for the kitchen.
Okay.
Maggie was a policewoman once, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, but she had to quit for, reasons beyond her control.
Oui, oui, she was the suspect in the murder investigation, no?
Oh, you know about that?
That is why I gave her la perfume for the happiness.
Happiness perfume?
We blended from bergamot like I've given to you before.
But she's been arrested again and found guilty this time.
This is true, or natural aroma of the happiness must have been very strong.
Just admit it, your perfume doesn't work.
I am not surprised that she was the prime suspect after something like that took place before my very eyes.
Raccoon! Yes, I just finished the last case. We were at the very end of it. This is the very beginning of the third case. So, what had happened was... we found out that there was a murder case a month ago. Maggie Bird, which you might remember... I don't know if you saw it, but Maggie Bird from the second game, when she was the policewoman, she was involved with it. And apparently, me, Phoenix Wright, was her lawyer, and me, Phoenix Wright, got her a guilty verdict. So, it turns out that there's an imposter Phoenix Wright that's running around and masquerading and defense attorneying people incorrectly. So we're trying to figure out what happened, why this trial happened, and who this phony is. Yeah, you remember Maggie? Yeah, she still got the horrendous bad luck. So after the last murder trial, she got fired as a policewoman, so now she's been working as a waitress at this restaurant until she was once again accused of murder. But she was like, it's okay, Phoenix defended me, but she said I gave the worst defense in the history of court. This case starts off with her getting the guilty verdict, and it's fucking great. So it's like, yeah, there's a phony me running around being a defense attorney, a bad defense attorney, and getting people caught guilty. So we're trying to figure out what happened. And it also has one of the best characters ever, Jean Armstrong, the big, muscular, gay Frenchman. He's great. I love him. Something like what? What's this guy talking about? Does this mean Maggie did have a motive? We've got to ask this guy for more info. Stat. I'm glad I asked. There it is. When Maggie took the coffee over to the victim, did anything happen?
We, I suppose you could say so.
So what happened?
No, it was nothing.
Look, Maggie said she didn't even know the guy. But she's still been indicted for murder? The prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive.
It is true.
If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant. So please, tell us anything you know. Oh, no. 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 You fabulous gay Frenchman, you. Cyclops. No way. What are we gonna do, Nick? We'll just have to remove... What the... What's wrong? The Magatama... It's gone! Huh? I had it in my pocket, but it's vanished into thin air. What? But I could see the Cyclops. Maybe that means the Magatama's nearby? Mr. Armstrong, could I just confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting, was anyone else sitting there?
That is a question you will have to ask him yourselves.
Huh? Him?
Loud man spends all of his time in Danzela Park.
La park? Oh, a park. What park's that?
Behind the restaurant is called the Vitamin Square.
Thank you. Je vous prie, my dear. I don't speak French. I speak Spanish. Let's go check out this Vitamin Square. Right now, Nick. But wait, where's my Magatama? Why is it gone? Why is it missing? Oh no. But I could see the Cyclops. I can look at this again. It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Looks like Mr. Armstrong doesn't get any newspapers. Well, it wouldn't exactly suit the feel of the place, would it? Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic, like in these mags, Maya? Yeah, it looks stunning. I'd look stunning in some of these Parisian frocks, huh? We found that sports paper behind this magazine rack earlier. I'd better try to find out everything I can about it. I wonder if you know... Did I show you this? I don't remember. We found this sports paper in the magazine rack here.
One of my customers must have left it behind.
Do you have any idea which customer it was?
This is the only ideas I have, mademoiselle. I saved from my kitchen.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay, well, we'll go to the Vitamin Square. I know, I'm surprised Piranha hasn't shown up. Your RP. Keep it PG-13. Maybe. It depends on how good it is. So, this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you. Hey, Nick, that's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. Maya, he's not throwing seeds out for them. He's throwing seeds at them. Oh boy, I forgot about this guy. Okay, what kind of voice am I gonna give this guy? Old man voice with a slightly Japanese tone to it. Oof, my grumpiness threat level has just been raised to red. Excuse me. Would you mind if I had a word with you? Yes! I would... I just want to ask you a couple questions.
What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds and pigeons?
Oh, he's really chucking those seeds at them. That's gotta hurt.
Go on, eat this!
Hey, excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird?
I don't know any Maggie Bird.
Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Che Bien.
God, it's a disgrace, I tell you. An utter disgrace.
Disgrace?
An innocent young girl receiving stuff like that.
Revealing? You mean in her uniform?
The users today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not one ounce.
There we go. Now my voice is starting to fill it in. My voice will figure it out as I go through it. It'll change until something, until my, yeah.
Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan? Like honor and modesty?
What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing.
You! Your problem is you lack any sense of grace.
Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. Do you go to Trebian a lot?
That miserable excuse for a restaurant? The garbage they serve in there is not food? What is the sushi? The tempura? The rice?
Trebian is a French restaurant, sir.
Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not these snooty snacks! What about those shameless girls?
You mean the waitresses?
You can't see all the way up there. Yes, the waitresses! They're practically naked! It's a disgrace, isn't it? What? Isn't it?
What? Listen, it's not my restaurant!
God, it's a miserable excuse for a restaurant that place! Miserable!
Oh, he certainly knows the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Are you a regular at the restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir?
Do you eat a bloody pigeon? You want food? Haha, take it!
He must be hiding something, right? If he is, I should be able to see a sidewalk or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the Magatama right now, huh? Remember, Nick, that Magatama is only on loan. You'd better find it or else. If Pearls ever gets wind of this, I'm gonna be in a world of pain. Okay, look at the pigeons there. Hey, look! Pigeons! Yeah, and heaps of them, too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? That's a dove, not a pigeon. Poor things. So they can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. There's that one white one. Okay, look at that. Oh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings.
You disgusting rogue picking up something someone to throw away!
Throw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job?
God, that's none of your business!
Oh, sorry. I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then.
I don't want anyone else having it! Give it back!
Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. It's mine.
Hey, that's mine!
Too bad, old man. No. I used to love sandboxes like you wouldn't believe. Really? You? Well, sure. Finding iron fillings in the sand with my magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron filling? Oh, wow. That's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shred of iron in the sandbox. I was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all that iron? No, I never did. I think I came close, though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron filings that I found way back then. You want them? No! I don't want any of that. Maya thinks pigeon racism exists. I mean, that's true. If she has seen the movie Spies in the Sky, she'll know that pigeons can at least be secret agents, I guess. This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. Then that apple slide is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woo! No way! I'd get covered in sand if I slid down that slide. Anyone can see that. Well, yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try, too. Oh, I can look at the orange. Looking at this orange reminds me. Of what? Well, that you're supposed to eat a lot of them to ward off colds in the winter. You can't have fun during the holidays if you're sick in bed, you know. You don't have to tell me twice. Let's see. You know this paper? Excuse me, sir. Could I just ask you about this? Sir?
Here you go, boy! Have some pigeon feet onto you!
No, that's not exactly what I was hoping to get out of this guy. That's... Nope. Okay, what about Maggie? Nah? Nope. Okay, how about Mr. Armstrong? Nope. Okay. How come I haven't gotten this guy's profile yet? I spoke to him. I talked to him. Do I have his profile now? Oh, fine. Okay, I guess I'll, I can't... Maybe Gumshoe's got something by now. Really? Really? Nothing? What am I supposed to do, then? Well, hang on. Wait, I have this. Job listings. Maybe I can show it to Maggie or Jean. Maggie? Sweet. Oh, are you looking for some part-time work, Maya? Why don't you take a job at the restaurant? I bet Mr. Armstrong would hire you. Really? Me? It's pretty cool being a waitress, you know. And in the kitchen, you'll get to see all the chef's greatest secrets. What secrets? Well, you can't make it obvious, but just spy on him for a bit. You'll see. It's interesting. Wow, I can't wait to get my apron on now. The beginning of this, when I select this case, it shows a picture of Maya in a waitress outfit, so... If Piranha comes around, he might like that. Like a time was in your other pocket, most likely. I mean, it could be.
Mademoiselle,
Yes?
are you looking for a job?
What? No, I was just...
Let me see. Your style is un peu different, but you have a good face.
different.
Faites attention to your best. I will hire you. Bien, come with me. I will teach you everything I know.
Nick! Help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both? Okay, well, Maya's gone. Maya's gone forever. Oh, I can look at this again. This must be the table where the poisoning occurred. The stains tells the story well. The whole area is still cordoned off with the police tape. I guess it must still be under investigation. Dun dun. It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Ugh, all the clothes in these are absolutely atrocious. Some of them have been circled in red. I really hope Mr. Armstrong is not thinking of buying those. There's a bunch of little trinkets on a shelf by the door. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all these personally. It's really tight behind the cash register counter. Can Mr. Armstrong even get in here? And if he got in, could he get out again? Mr. Armstrong must be a pretty big neat freak. He already has his table ready to go. Now, if only the food in this place was edible. I was kidnapped. Oh well. Sometimes it just be like that. Oh? Looks like they have Maggie in questioning. I guess I've asked her pretty much everything. I'll come back if there's anything else I need to ask her later. Now that I lost Maya and the new stuff everywhere.
Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one that's gonna find her innocent?
That's why Gumshoe was all up in fucking arms at the beginning of this case, telling us that we need to try to do the retrial. Well, first he was mad at me because he thought I did it. But that's because Gumshoe loves Maggie and I shipped the two of them, because Maggie is his waifu. No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation.
Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal.
Gumshoe's really fired up about this.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. The retrial's been approved. Court's sitting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Godot's gonna be the prosecutor.
Oh, him.
Now listen up, pal. If Maggie's found guilty again...
Yes?
I'll make sure y'all get locked up for good. You got it?
Gumshoe, yes, I like that. I like that too. He's the best guy. So the guilty party was Maggie Bird, huh?
Yeah. Back when she was on the police force.
Oh, back when she was in the police force, you were her mentor when she was a rookie, right?
Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? I was just... It wasn't nothing like... Well, look, sure, I was her boss when she was doing her training, but that was it. Nothing happened.
Gumshoe sure is sweating up a storm over nothing. Ah, so that's it. Our big old Gumshoe has a little crush on Maggie.
I ship it. I don't like her or nothing. I was just...
Note to self, gossip with Maya about this later.
Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You gotta keep it a secret, got it?
Well, sure. And would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time?
Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You have to be blind not to see what's on your mind.
Best guy. Gumshoe with Maggie. Gumshoe cross Maggie. Unlike the ships, better make No, Rule 34. No. So I was wondering, could you fill me in on the victim?
Glenn Elg, he was a computer programmer.
I see. A programmer.
He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer farm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. And all she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder. Moida, pal.
I can't say murder. I have to say Moida.
We're giving Gumshoe that kind of New York accent.
Yeah, Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often?
Not according to the chef. Said it was the first time he'd seen the guy.
A programmer. And a first-time customer at that. What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that?
Well, that's what I thought. But a motive was still somehow established in her trial.
You're kidding! What was her supposed motive?
Sorry, pal, I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to sift through these papers. Well, look into it yourself, okay?
What could this motive have been?
This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself.
Oh, that's right.
The judge already ruled on the case, and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is Maggie's testimony.
Yeah, doesn't sound very good for us, does it?
Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow, so I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's... Okay, so she's a bit out there, and a bit off base sometimes, but she was a good cop.
That's not exactly complimentary, you know. So, what do you think really happened? And just how contradictory is her testimony?
The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Maggie still insists that there was another guy sitting with the victim.
Right, but get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD.
CD? Oh, yeah. She did mention something about a CD. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir.
But our guys turned that place upside down. There was no CD.
What?
Not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal.
But didn't Maggie say that the victim was wearing an earpiece too?
Yeah, but that was for the portable radio on the front pocket of his hoodie.
A radio? He didn't have a CD player?
You got it. Your phony never explained that contradiction at all.
Come to think of it, the owner of Tres Bien didn't mention that CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling that Mr. Armstrong's got something to hide.
Oh, I don't know, Phoenix. Maybe because of the giant-ass Cyclops Brooklyn voice?
I don't know. I think, yeah, that's how I've always read Gumshoe.
I've always tried to give him that New York accent. From the police force. Moida. And flatbread pizza. Best in the city. I don't know.
But yeah, that's what I do.
Is that thing real, pal?
Why does everyone keep asking me that?
Well, I wonder what this phony of yours is like.
He had Maggie found guilty of murder. Doesn't that tell you? I gotta track this creep down.
I wasn't at the trial myself, but I asked this one detective I know how your defense was.
And what did he say?
Well, he started off by saying, I'm at a complete loss for words. But he must have found something quick because he went on about how bad you were for about an hour. But he said you sucked so much it seemed like you were trying to get Maggie found guilty.
It looked like I was trying to get Maggie found guilty?
What's that? A sports paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine rack at Très Bien. It's dated the same day as the moiter. You may be onto something here. And take a look at this. See this writing here? MC Bomber. Hey! What is it? I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah! MC Bomber! Oh, wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. Ugh, it's no good, I can't remember. And he goes back to being the gumshoe we all know and love. Hey, pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get a handwriting analysis done on this scribble. Handwriting, huh? Oh, it'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks, pal. I bet this will turn out to be an interesting clue. Sports paper given to that boy. No, I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to. That. What do you make of this? Sorry, pal. All I can think about is Maggie at the moment. No. I didn't mean it like that. I mean. You don't have to explain, really. It's okay. I'll tell no one. Have you gone to see Maggie? Well, of course I have. But I wasn't much good at consoling her. I'm not very good with words. Oh. Yeah, I guess I must have looked a bit down. Maggie was really supportive of me. It was great to have someone to talk to. Did he go for her or for himself? The chef of Très Bien, huh? You know what that chef said to me? Ooh la la, your body is full of toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders to put a few drops of it on my bath every day. Under orders? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady. I mean, guy. Huh? You can't stop thinking about him? Not like that, pal. Give me a break. He's not my type. I mean, I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow. Sounds like he knows a little something more about our charming chef. What do you make of this? Sorry, pal. All I can think about is Maggie. No, not like that. The charming chef. MC Bomber sounds like a 1940s British rapper. The 2010. What's the difference? So what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Très Bien? It's, kind of hard to say. The guy's probably not even connected with the case anyway. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say that you'd give me the dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kinda unimportant. Gossipy stuff, you know, pal. Look, how about this? You go to Très Bien and investigate the place yourself. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report it back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice in this, huh? Guess I better find out more about the chef and Très Bien and then report it back to Gumshoe. Oh? The scented flower sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Oh, hello? Who was that just now? Customer? She had sort of a dark aura about her. Oh, wow, what a cute voice. What? Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya! Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. Then who was that woman I just saw? Oh, since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. Oh, I am kind of hungry, actually. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them food, make coffee, work the cash register. Of course, we need a customer before I can do any of that. Well, yeah, it's a nice-looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra-cute waitress. Check out my give me a tip smile. Hey, Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment, or so he says. How much is it? It's a twin tea set, so it's $20, of course. The twin tea set? I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? But you can't. Oh, come on, Nick. It's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch? Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, no, no. Kitchen! A lunch special, please. With all the extras, drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya's really getting into this. So how much is this lunch set then? $20, huh? But with the drink, side salad, and dessert, it's $45! Hey, wait a sec! Maya! Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are, our deluxe fortified lunch set. What? Yeah. A dish inspired by lobster and abalone fricassee with balsamic vinaigrette. Bon appetit! Thanks? Come on, Nick, hurry up and try it already. Lobster, huh? Alright. Well, down the hatch it goes. Well? Are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, it's yours. Really? No. Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you better polish off that plate. I just remembered I gotta clean out the toilets. Hey, what? Oh, you can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. Cool, I got this. I guess I'll take it in a to-go box. How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey, Nick, you want to take a peek at the kitchen? The kitchen, huh? Oh, not a bad idea. Now, what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all the chef's greatest secrets? In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Hey, wait up, Maya! What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you gonna show me around? There goes my plan to find some cool clue and show it off in your face. I better conduct the search in the kitchen myself. Let me go to the kitchen. I'm gonna go in the kitchen. Here I go, right in the kitchen. Piranha is not turned on. I don't want to know what that looks, sounds, or smells like. I don't want any of that. And here it is, the famous Trabian kitchen. It's my first time in here too, actually. There's a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we better search quickly. Chop chop! Okay, take a look around. What about those? What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing into the floor. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. They're all the same too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. I'm getting stuffy. Can't get stuffy when I'm reading. Come on, nose, cooperate. So what's that liquid inside then, I wonder? Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? Small bottle, found in the kitchen. Shape is different from other bottles. Contents unknown. Now this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarice Armstrong's bedtime literature? Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? It looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool! Read one out. And say it in your best French accent, with intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Printemps. The two of them like actors from a film. The coffee still undrunk. Sweet nothings over too soon on that sad Sunday morning. The foolish cocktail so delicious. Take the last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you, I must. Huh? That's it? Yep, that's a poem for you. I love it. He commit the murder? You think Armstrong did it? What are these lace curtains for? I don't know, but they give the place a real homey feel, don't they?
lace curtains. You know, if I was a cooking pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on a shelf under one of these.
How do you respond to something like that?
Now I know I'm in a French restaurant, I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that?
Oyster sauce is delicious. Isn't that using Chinese food?
Look! Right there on the counter! My Magatama! What's it doing there?
I didn't even notice it there. What indeed? What the? Give me that! Why was it in there?
Now I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. What's that over there? Isn't that using Chinese food? And look at these knives. They look really sharp.
I'd like to see how one of those slices through a cheesecake.
A cheesecake? You don't exactly need a sharp knife for one of those, Nick. That smells good. Something's bubbling away nicely in that pot. It must be the lobster and abalone fricassee with the balsamic vinaigrette.
Isn't that what I just ate for lunch?
Maybe. Maybe what you ate is the only French dish I know the name of. Aha. Great. That's good. That's good. I think we've looked at everything in here. Guess we can give this bottle to Gumshoe. Let's slip right out of the kitchen. Anything to say? Nope. About the Magatama? Nope, got nothing to say about that. About this? Nope. Anything about this? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna go to the park. Let's go to the park. And who was that mysterious girl? The old guy's not here anymore. Try it, and I still have some unanswered questions from. What the? A scooter, huh? Who would leave it right in the middle of a park like this? The wheel guard and the light are busted. I guess it must have been an accident. It's totally wrecked.
Holy shit! Hey, what you doing with my bike? No, what was that? Roar! You've been messing with my new ride. Is that what you've been doing?
No, new ride? Isn't that gonna...
Oh, you's gonna pay for this.
It wasn't me. I was just passing by.
Hey, then who's the one that covered it in my saddle and crap? Roar! You're gonna pay. You catch my drift?
No, I'm not a pigeon. I could have done it.
A wise guy, huh? I gotta beat you so hard, it'll make you use you're smooching an express train.
Uh-oh.
You better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers and then you're just gonna pay.
Actually, I'm a lawyer myself.
What'd you say?
I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law.
Phoenix Wright? You're saying you was Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, I am.
So, you's a wise guy too, huh? Because I'm Phoenix Wright, the one and only.
What?
Out of my way, I got a cruise.
What? What? Surely that guy wasn't my phony. Was he? He wasn't anything like me! Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Ridden by my phony, the wheel guards all smashed up. Oh, it's you.
A few threats from a little brat like that, and you look like a pigeon that's got cheese in his eyes.
Have you been here the whole time, then?
I was in that strawberry. I had some thinking to do.
More like you had some cowering to do. Well, are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir?
There you are, you filthy pigeons! You want food? Ha ha! Take that!
Ah, there it is. God, 3 locks for everyone. I knew it. This old guy's got something to hide, but what could it be? I don't know if I can break his psych luck. There, kiss. That's about it. That's what people saying. They were saying spiky hair and blue suit, and he's like, is that all it takes? There's no way I have enough stuff here to break 3 psych locks. Like, he's not going to say anything about any of this.
Yeah, there's no way. Let's go see if I can give Gumshoe this bottle.
Hey, you're just in time.
What is it, Detective Gumshoe?
The lab just got back to me about that newspaper you gave me.
Oh, he must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what'd they say? Did the analysis turn up anything?
They said the doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Elk. No doubt about it.
I expected as much.
The victim took the paper with him to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment.
Alright, we found the court record.
MC Bomber. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back to me with whatever you find in that restaurant, okay, pal?
Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling that there's something I need to show him.
Bam! You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh?
Only this one doesn't smell.
Huh? I don't get you.
Well, this was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same. Wouldn't you agree?
A cologne bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a little while? I want to send it to the lab for analysis.
The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important.
I had a hunch there was something funny about that chef.
You suspect Jean Armstrong?
I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is.
That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before.
I guess I better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean.
Wait, before that, anything to say about this scooter?
No.
Okay. So, what's Mr. Armstrong's secret?
You ever had lunch at Très Bien, pal?
Yes.
So how was it?
To put it nicely, it was inedible.
Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie working as a waitress, so...
Well, yeah, I guess it's probably the food.
The real scoop on the guy is that he's up to his ears in debt.
Really? How much does he owe?
Well, this is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red.
$500,000? We talking dollars?
Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble.
Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise.
Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that that chef's got something to do with this, most of them.
This case is so good. This case is so much better than the Mask Mask one. I tell you, these next 3 cases are going to be incredible.
That's my hunch.
There's going to be so many plot twists. John's debt is $500,000. The owner of the loan is Tender Lender. I don't think I have anything else to present. Though this might be enough for me to break Jean's Cyclops. If he's there, would he be there by chance? Would he be in the kitchen? Damn it, he sure isn't. Told me. Okay. Lock that vote right in. We'll see what happens. I can't say nothing. I already know all the answers. I can't say nothing. People gotta find out. People gotta find out.
The chef for Très Bien, huh? You know what the chef said to me?
Oh, you already said that. How long until I get that analysis? I want to know now. Daddy, I want to know now. I like there's a little master doodle there. I like it. It's good.
It's for $500,000, pal! That's, $500,000 bills!
What was the in there for? Is there really that much money tied up in this case?
Well, I can't give you an answer on that, pal. Not without the case file in front of me. But I'll tell you this. That Armstrong guy would have done anything for cash.
He was desperate, you know.
No, I don't, but I think I sort of get the picture. Damn. I was hoping you would give me a little more than that. Oh, I haven't been back home. Poor Maya. Looks like Mr. Armstrong's really taking a shine to her. I suppose I'll just have to let her work at the restaurant for a while. I'll go pick her up from Très Bien once things have cooled off. Oh, I was hoping that Pearls would come. I miss Pearls. I guess things haven't cooled off here yet. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what to go now. You're the only one I can talk to. I guess we'll just... Let's give it a try. It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at the restaurant that you dislike so much?
Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to a restaurant. To eat.
To eat? Is that the whole truth?
What do you mean?
I don't think you go to that restaurant for the food at all.
You insolent brat! How dare you accuse me? What proof have you got?
I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for its food. You want this? The proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the lunch menu.
That's the 20 cent.
The food at Très Bien is terrible and expensive.
You're wrong. It's cheap.
Huh?
I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich. I haven't done a jot of work since I was born other than feeding the pigeons.
What a load of crock.
The taste's another story, but the price, it's nothing to me.
So you're saying that you go there because you got money to burn?
Exactly. I have so much cash I go for a swim in my money vault every day.
Haha, DuckTales reference. He has a gambling addiction and ended up losing his council house in a game of blackjack. Damn, that's oddly specific. Unfortunately, that's a lie.
What?
You don't have money to burn. You're flat broke. You were looking for a fucking job. This is yours, right?
My magazine!
Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job?
I was... So what? Someone was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money.
Oh?
I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the Javachino.
Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there?
$8.
Those had better be some golden beans.
What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, don't you? Is that it?
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great.
No, it's not. But anyway, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day.
Newspapers?
Exactly. They don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there.
I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free newspapers to read at Très Bien. Would it just be this? Take a look at this.
What is it?
It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Très Bien.
So, what of it?
This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago.
What?
Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer just happened to leave behind. Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth?
I'm not hiding anything.
I'm gonna have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go so much to Très Bien is you like the waitresses.
What are you asking me about that girl for?
She was the waitress at Très Bien. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress.
But I don't recognize that face.
And you're probably telling the truth here, because you weren't looking at the girl's face. But at her titties. That's the truth, isn't it?
You became a regular at the restaurant because you like them thick-ass waitresses. That uniform's all you can think about, isn't it? TNA? Hmm? I can't take it. To you, that waitress was your... Enough! Please! Come on! Stop saying that word! Stop saying waitress! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
You got him.
Nonce.
Sir?
Yes, it's true. I went there for the young girl. Fine, so I'm a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I even get one of those lousy cups of Javachino every time for $8. All because of the serving girl. Punish me. Lock me up.
Really, that's not what I'm here for.
You'll be the same for another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me.
No, really. God damn it. Listen, sir.
Stop calling me that. I haven't named you no boy, so show some respect. I'm Victor Kudo.
Sorry, Mr. Kudo.
You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more.
This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony, one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his cyclops and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a better mood. How am I supposed to make him in a better mood? You like look at Maggie, huh? You like that? Did you like that? Oh no, seeds! There we go, now I have his picture. I guess I need his name first. The food? God damn it. The scooter? God damn it. This? God damn it. Okay, fine. You know what? I don't want to talk to you either. Fuck you! Oh, fuck you! Sorry, Nick. I am a waitress now. I got a pile of work waiting for little old me. Okay. Wow, no one's gonna be cooperative now. Oh, she said something. Oh, damn it. I don't know how to go. I don't know how to go back. What? My adventure game novel stuff. Anyways. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Ah, the waitress outfit. Yeah, there's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay, I'll just get changed. No. Can you, go like that? I guess? Perfect. Sir.
You again. What did I see?
Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay. I think it's going pretty well. Huh?
You said just a little child. Run along and go play on the slide, all right?
Play on the slide? Oh, we were so close. Just a little more, he would have spilled. How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir.
Quiet! Can't you see I'm feeding?
Oh, here come Mia. Here with that TNA. Mia!
Well,
if you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you.
but I just... Yes. Oh, of course. Certainly. I'm Victor Kudo.
Even from beyond the grave, wow! About the incident?
Oh, you mean the man who died after drinking the Davicino?
It's like he's a different, complete person.
It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. That girl took the Davicino over to him, you see?
And? Was the person customer alone?
Definitely. He was the only one at the table. Then he took one sip of his Davicino
And
he said something like, "Wah!" And then he collapsed, dead.
oh, how terrifying.
Oh, you're so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything. Whatever you want to know.
He's certainly seems to be telling the truth now. But it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. Do you like the food at Trebian?
Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London.
Really? How interesting.
Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France.
What a lovely story. London's in England, not France.
Oh, yes. France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want French.
I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. It's fine. She's doing all the work. You visit Trebian a lot, don't you?
Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there.
Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner should be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure.
Be careful of that chef, my dear.
The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong?
That's right. The man's an ex-con.
He's an ex-con? Whoa, wait. Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do?
Oh no, don't eyes. I can't take this.
Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand.
He steals things from his customers.
From his customers?
Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things, mainly. He's a pilferer, so you be careful around him, my dear.
Are you sure about this?
Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my cappuccino.
He really is a regular.
Let me write you a little haiku about it.
A haiku?
A Japanese poem. I'll explain it. All you need to know about that chef. Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. Victor Kudo. If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement.
Poor guy. He couldn't do enough for Mia. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. Well, we got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant.
Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya, no, how could you leave me like this?
I'm sorry. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a psych lock or 3, didn't he? I'm gonna have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you.
Volunteers, of course. Hon, baguettes and croissants.
Maggie's motive.
What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling.
I have to know the truth. What happened that day?
Lord, I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me.
Huh? Well, that was a new world record.
It was a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket?
The man who died here had a lottery ticket for $500,000.
$500,000?
Oui, but after the incident, the ticket, it disappeared.
The ticket disappeared.
This was the motive that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said that she poisoned the man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
My lords.
You've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me. And I want to know the reason why.
No, monsieur, you doubt me, but I have confessed to you everything I know.
Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket, I think I know who took it. I think the winning lottery ticket was stolen by this person. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you.
Oh!
Wow, that is one piercing scream, even for a man like him.
My pourquoi me, moi? Why? You have no evidence? I have not masked the mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you've stolen from others in the past. What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it and put some feeling into it. Convicted before? A wicked man or woman? A repeat offender? I am sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong. But you've been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Mon Dieu! Le monde You deny it? Do not make false accusations, s'il vous plaît. So, do you have any proof? I want to see incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers. Hey, my Magatama! You took this from me! It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. Oh, what is that? This is my Magatama, and I found it in your kitchen. No! Wow, that scream just broke some windows. I have the weakness for the little trinkets and little figurines. My hand, it just slips out. I could not stop it. He's a klepto. You've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right? Oui, it is not true. I am just a timid little girl inside monsieur, a timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not a small trinket. It was $500,000. My, no, why would I steal it? I have no need for such money. Really now? Oh, monsieur, what is it? Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you are in desperate need of a large amount of cash? This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Hold on, croissant and baguettes. Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000? How did you know that he had something like that in the first place? The man, he was listening to the radio with the earpiece. Maggie said something about that too. The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden, exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted. And the ticket? He had all of your tickets all spread out on the table. I was so desperately in need of money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh, no, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of his tickets. What? The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, porco mapas, he had so many of them. Yeah, but only one of them was a winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. No, this is not true. I did not take it. La ticket for $500,000, I mean. But you just told us you did. You said you took a ticket. My filly, it was not... Huh? What? Mr. Godot! What the hell are you doing here? This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. He came in here for coffee? Does this craving for coffee know no bounds? Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I am lying. No, just a pretty little girl everyone is laughing at. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So, the ticket he took was worthless. Not quite. He did win something. $1. You see, I have just a pretty face with that mad looks. I have nothing. So, what happened to the winning ticket then? The one he meant to steal? Indeed. What did happen to it?
I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we? Oh, that guy's so cool. Damn it. I wish I was that cool.
Voila, you too. Time to laugh at the pretty little airhead.
Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Yeet! Looks like we've got a new mystery now, namely, where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway, we can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! And here I'm gonna end the Phoenix Wright stream because we finished the second case and we started the first investigation day of the third case, and that's pretty good. So I am going to stream something else in a little bit. Not sure what. I might do some Plague Tale. I might do some Uncharted. I might start a new game. I might do The Observer. Who knows? Or I might end up on Final Fantasy 14. Either way, I hope I will see you guys in the next stream. Au revoir.